Hello, troopers, and welcome back to Ask G.A.R. Productions. We'll hop right into it today. Thank you so much for the questions. Didn't have a crazy amount this today, but some still really good questions. Thank you for all the good comments. So there was a lot of good discussion from last week, and I really appreciate that. Josh Wald asked, "Do you think a Midi Scale, UCS or Midi Scale Venator or a UCS Invisible Hand to pair? What do you think?" Well, I think he's saying which one do I think is more likely. I think the Midi Scale Venator next year is more likely than getting a UCS Invisible Hand next year to pair with the vice versa. I think that would be a higher possibility. I actually think that might actually happen as a mini scale Venator next year, and that's honestly probably what I prefer. Even though I'd like to see a UCS Invisible Hand, I'd probably prefer to see a mini scale Venator first over a UCS Invisible Hand, but I do think the Venator is more likely than the Providence Destroyer. Sag asks, next year for sure we get an AR C-170. Who's with me? Question mark. I know it's not necessarily Ask G.A.R, but I just want to bring it up again because I love the AR C-170. And yes, I do think we're going to get it. I know we're kind of back and forth. You never quite know with Lego, but I do think there's a really high, if anything, I almost think that vehicle in particular has some of the highest chance for next year, almost above anything else for being the Revenge of the Sith, because they know that we want an AR C-170. So if next year we don't get it, that'd be very, very weird. Brandon asks, when do you think we will get a Phase 2 Wolffe? I'm hoping a Bad Batch Season 3 set could include him. I don't know. I'd like to say next year. It just kind of depends on, going with what you said, probably next year is probably the last chance we would have for getting Bad Batch Season 3 sets, if we get any, at least for a while. So if he's going to come out with a set from the Bad Batch, it's going to be next year. Otherwise, it's probably only like a 35 to 50% chance next year that we even get a Commander Wolffe, just because I think the clone vehicle and Legion and Trooper slots are going to be taken up by a lot of Episode 3 clones. So perhaps the following year, again, people know, or Lego knows we want Phase 2 Wolffe. I'm sure he's on the short list. I just don't know if it's going to be next year, but I would think it will be pretty shortly. If not next year, then probably the next one following that in 2026. And then Gifted Time asks, would you like to see Rogue One sets in 2016 for the 10th year anniversary of Rogue One? Yes, I would love to see that. Even just simply, too, I brought it up at some point, even just seeing like a TIE Striker and a U-Wing with figures would be amazing, but even more sets would be good. Of course, the minifigure selection, whether of Shore Troopers and other Imperial figures, Death Troopers, getting to see Krennic again, K2SO, the whole Rogue One crew, getting to see Rogue One Rebel Troopers again would be really nice. So all those things would be really, really nice. I really hope that they would do that. I do want to see Rogue One sets do. I think they're going to do it. I'd say it's like 50-50. I've talked about that before, but I think the best chance of getting one is going to be, or the best chance of sets for that year is going to be like a U-Wing and a TIE Striker. Past that, I'm not sure. But those are my thoughts on that. So thank you guys for the questions. I know not a lot this week. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more views and more questions for Ask G.A.R. Thank you so much, though. You guys have really did a really good job. Not necessarily asking questions for it, but definitely some good comments last week. Good discussion, which really helps the channel and is encouraging to see. I really enjoy that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.